Stop scrolling right now. If you're in your 20s or 30s, still checking your bank account like it's going to do tricks, still driving something that's low-key stressing you out every month, and still telling yourself, I'm building wealth, while your money's actually on life support, this video is about to piss you off in the best way possible. You're not building wealth, bro. You're committing slow financial suicide and calling it adulting. Most of y'all are getting cooked by the same exact wealth killers. And the crazy part? They're dressed up as completely normal shit. I'm just being responsible. I'm just treating myself. I'm just loyal to the company. Nah. Today we're exposing every single one of them. No fluff, no participation trophies, just the real reasons your net worth is stuck while time is flying. If you want to stay average and keep making excuses, click off. But if you're actually tired of being the guy who's almost there every year, stay locked in. This is the biggest wealth killers in your 20s and 30s. And we're killing every single one of them today. First up, your zip code is quietly robbing you. If the biggest employer in your town is the local hospital, the prison, or Walmart's distribution center, and you're not in healthcare or corrections, you're playing the game on hard mode for no reason. You're anchoring your entire salary to a place that decided your max value a long time ago. I'm not saying pack up tomorrow and move to Austin with no plan, but if you've been in the same city for 5+ years, you're making under 70 to 80K, and there's no clear path to 120K plus in your field, you're choosing to stay broke. The math is stupid simple. In a lot of mid-sized cities, the ceiling is low because the companies there don't have to pay more. Meanwhile, companies in bigger markets or remote roles will pay 30 to 50% plus more for the same exact skills. That's not moving for money. That's refusing to leave free money on the table. The fix? Audit your market value every 6 to 12 months. Apply to roles that pay what you're actually worth, even if they're in a different city or remote. If you're not getting offers 20 to 30% higher than what you make now, either your skills need work or you're in the wrong location. One of those two things has to change. Next, stop treating your high-yield savings account like it's your retirement plan. Yeah, I said it. Having 80K to 100K plus sitting in savings just in case while you're in your 20s or early 30s is not being responsible. That's being scared with extra steps. Keep 3 to 6 months of actual expenses in a high-yield savings. Cool. Everything past that, it should be working. Because inflation is eating 3% plus every year, and your savings account is giving you maybe 4 to 5% if you're lucky. You're basically treading water while the real game is happening in the market. Here's the part that actually hurts. If you took even an extra $400 to $500 a month and put it in a simple index fund instead of letting it sit, in 20 years at average market returns, you're looking at almost $300,000. In 30 years, close to $750,000. That's not risky. That's what compound interest actually does when you stop babysitting your money like it's a toddler. The fix? Build the emergency fund, then automate everything else into investments. I don't know what to invest in is not a reason anymore. VOO, VTI, or a target date fund. Pick one and let it ride. The biggest risk at your age isn't losing money in the market. It's having almost nothing in the market when you're 50. This one's ugly, but we gotta talk about it. A bad relationship, especially one where you move in, combine finances, or, God forbid, get married without being aligned on money, can set you back a decade or more. I'm not saying don't fall in love. I'm saying stop ignoring the financial reality. Divorce rates are still high, and even if you never get married, a lot of people in their 20s and 30s are out here financially supporting partners who have no plan, bad habits, or straight-up leech energy. Then when it ends, you're splitting assets, paying lawyer fees, and starting over with less. Even without divorce, the we'll figure money out later mindset is expensive as hell. Different spending habits, different views on debt, different goals. That tension doesn't stay emotional. It shows up in your bank account. The fix? Have the money conversation early. Not how much do you make, but what are you doing with it, and where do you see yourself in 5 years financially? If their answer makes you uncomfortable, that's data. Protect yourself. Prenups exist for a reason. Separate accounts for a reason. Not being financially entangled with someone who doesn't respect money is not being cold. It's being smart. You know who's actually winning? The person driving the paid-off 2018 Camry while everyone else is leasing a 2025 BMW they can't really afford. That $700 to $800 a month car payment, that's the average new car payment right now, is not treating yourself. It's a subscription to looking richer than you are. Over 5 years, that's $42,000 plus gone, plus insurance, maintenance, and the second you drive it off the lot, it lost thousands in value. The people with real money, a lot of them are driving cars that are 3 to 7 years old and paid off. They let somebody else eat the depreciation. Then they take the money they would have spent on a car note and put it somewhere that actually grows. The fix? If you need a car, buy used with 30 to 60,000 miles on something reliable. Pay it off as fast as possible. Drive it into the ground. That money you're not sending to the bank every month, that's your real flex. It goes into investments, a house down payment, or just not being stressed every time you check your account. Company loyalty is a scam they sell you so you don't realize you're getting underpaid. While you're out here being a team player and staying 4 to 5 years for 3% raises, the new hire with less experience is probably making more than you because they negotiated from a position of not caring. That's not shade at them, that's how the game actually works. For years, switching jobs every 2 to 3 years was printing 10 to 20% plus bumps. Even now that the premium has cooled off a bit, staying in the same role too long usually means you're leaving real money on the table. Your skills are getting more valuable every year you use them. If your paycheck isn't reflecting that, the company is winning and you're losing. The fix? Know your market value. Update your resume and LinkedIn every 6 months like it's your job. Interview once or twice a year, even if you're not actively looking. The goal isn't to hop every year forever. It's to never get comfortable being underpaid. The people who win long-term treat their career like a business, not a relationship. If you're carrying credit card debt at 20 to 23% interest, you are not an investor. You are a bank customer who's paying them to use your own money. That minimum payment is the trap. It feels manageable until you realize you've been paying for the same $3,000 vacation for 2 years, and you still owe most of it. High-interest debt is the fastest way to stay broke while feeling like you're managing. And yeah, that includes stretching yourself on a car loan or personal loan just to keep up appearances. The fix? Attack high-interest debt like it's on fire. Throw every extra dollar at it. Cut subscriptions, pause the fun spending, do whatever it takes. Once that's gone, you'll feel like you got a raise because you actually did. The money that was going to interest is now yours again.
This one might be the sneakiest. You get a raise, a bonus, or a new job, and somehow your expenses just happen to go up by almost the exact same amount. New apartment, better car, more DoorDash, nicer clothes, trips that look good on the story. Social media made this 10 times worse. You're not even keeping up with the Joneses anymore. You're keeping up with strangers whose whole life is curated. And every time you spend to feel like you're doing well, you're actually moving further from actually doing well. The real flex in your 20s and 30s isn't what you drive or where you vacation. It's having money in the market, low or no debt, and options. Most people your age don't have that. The ones who do in their 40s and 50s started protecting their money from lifestyle creep right now. The fix? When more money comes in, the first thing that should increase is your investment account, not your lifestyle. Give yourself a small reward if you want, 10 to 20% of the increase. Then automate the rest. Your future self will thank you when everyone else is still almost there. Look, if even 2 or 3 of these hit you, that's not a reason to feel bad. That's a reason to finally do something different. These wealth killers are quiet. They don't feel like emergencies. They feel like normal life. That's why they're so dangerous. The difference between the 35-year-old who's stressed about money and the one who's building real freedom usually isn't some crazy side hustle or secret stock tip. It's that one person stopped doing the things that quietly drain them every single month. So here's my challenge. Pick the one that hit hardest and fix it in the next 30 days. Not perfectly, just start. Drop in the comments which one you're guilty of. I read every single one. And if this video actually made you look at your situation different, do me a favor, like it, subscribe, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it, but probably won't want to. This is how we stop getting cooked and actually start winning. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.